Look at that! Look at the storms. That's some damage up there in Wisconsin. We knew we had the tornado threat. Only one officially so far that we've seen as a report, right? That's the only one I saw.
That's all we've seen. Yeah, not rated yet. If it will be rated, we'll see.
Right, we will. And what about the storms? They're ridge riders one more time, Stephen. If you look at the big picture, I mean, it's almost the same thing we've seen for the last couple of days.
Maybe last Thursday.
Yeah, here's our high pressure region right here. Everything goes around it.
It's wild to see. Pretty cool. I mean, the storms in Wisconsin, not too cool. That's what's so frustrating about them, too, because the threat is not all that great. But if they materialize and they tap into that environment, which they did, and that might have not even been tornadic damage. That might have been straight line winds.
So. Well, they had,
powerful yesterday.
Those had histories of 82-mile-per-hour winds earlier in South Dakota that day. It was a low-level jet got tapped into, hits the ground running, and it, boom, 82-mile-per-hour wind gusts yesterday morning in South Dakota. So what about the setup for today? Very close to being almost the same exact day.
Yeah. Maybe we have that boundary in the plains a little farther to the south.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've got Milwaukee, Green Bay at play. It's already been kind of feisty up in Michigan, right?
Chicago. Yeah, we did. We had severe thunderstorm warnings. They're up there to the northern part of there. And then we've got the rain. It's now starting to build again, northern parts of Kansas City. But that's going to fill in nicely late this evening through the overnight. So the flooding concern is definitely picked up right there.
I think so. And it's a feature you often talk about. We talk about the low-level jet.
Yeah, that's my favorite jet.
Well, let's listen.
Right.
It's one of those significant ones, especially in the plains at night. You get these storms that develop in the afternoon.
Here's our front. Does something like that.
And that jet will ultimately feed whatever exists.
And it's coming right out of the south and west, which is a rich and humid moisture source. You're talking about humidity, heat, all being propelled into these storms, and that's what they're going to chug along into. And you got some building energy right now, not as dire as it was yesterday. It's only 1 out of 5, but it's still building.
I know it seems boring in the summer when we talk so much about the heat. The stories are often along that periphery. You often get big flood events. You get significant storms. It's what we've seen this week. So I think Kansas City is going to be that zone that you have to watch for. I mean, Kansas City, honestly, is not going to be one of the hottest spots today, though, because of the instability.
It's just that the alignment of the front is going to put it right overhead.
Yeah.
It's going to train all those storms over you, so that's going to be the big problem. And then you're keeping with your home state, getting back in towards Illinois and Missouri. Looking at dew points in Paducah, Kentucky nearby, 77.
You almost, based on a map like this, you want to blame the Mississippi River.
You would.
It's not the Mississippi, but it's snaking right up the valley.
It really is, right? That's where they planted all the corn, and that's what's sweating right now.
It's fertile ground.
Here's the timer. It's about 5 o'clock. So now we're starting to talk about the beginning of your afternoon commute. So that's Chicago, back down through Iowa, northern parts of Missouri, including Kansas City. And then look at the alignment. It doesn't change much.
Yeah, that's the concerning thing. So you maybe get a brief break, but based on what we're showing with our Fox weather model, it's after midnight tonight that those storms are really going to ramp up, and there could be a zone here. And these, even from Weather Command, when we were watching, these numbers have even increased just a little bit.
Have they?
Kansas,
Since this
Missouri,
morning?
yeah, it looks like that those are up just a bit.
It's some more orange in there right now.
Yeah.
Reading their discussion this morning, they're talking that pockets of 5 to 7 inches of rain, maybe as much as over 8.
And we're not talking about the Gulf Coast here. That's the thing. Might be able to manage that if it was New Orleans. I mean, even that is a lot for New Orleans, but you get a zone like this. I will say the Pleasant Hill, that's the Kansas City office, issuing those flood watches last night because they knew that this event was going to be coming. There's been a signal here that we could have a heavy rain event in KC.
I mean, they're fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. And not just today, probably carries over through Friday. The same storms refire up again. Maybe displaced a little farther north, but you're right, Chicago. You guys are in it for 2 days in a row.
I know, it's weird. And you almost don't even see much movement for Kansas, depending on where. It's more about tracking those clusters of storms, those complexes, if they do form on Friday, where they'll ultimately go.
And that's why Robert Ray is camping out again in Chicago.
Yes,
at least it's his home city. That's where he's from. He knows it.
Yeah, it's
but,
true.
There you go. So at least he knows where he's going.
We talked to, I don't remember which hour it was, about Lollapalooza, because that's next weekend.
Is that in Chicago?
It's a huge concert next week. I think it's next Friday is when it starts. So the temperature's a bit iffy because maybe we'll see this heat ease by the end of next week, but that'd be big. I mean, Grant Park. Not one where you can find a shade,
No, it's
out there sweltering.
Beat down sunshine, no question. All right, let's get over to the east a bit farther. So we're going to see the heat on the move.